recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
Welcome to Machino Music, the show that puts the music in Machino Music, with your host, me, Brett Strong. Today on Machino Music, I'm talking all about my all-time favorite vocalists. You know, when I took voice lessons, we used to do this. Good afternoon, everybody. My 10 favorite vocalists, or all-time favorite vocalists, I didn't specify that it was 10 in the intro, but yeah, it's 10, because, you know, I have to do 10, and I like to torture myself by just trying to narrow it down to 10. But, yeah, we want to do this for a bit. Vocalists, they get you into the song. I mean, you hear that rhythm, you hear that thing, but you know, a vocalist can turn you off the song. It can keep you invested in the song. How are they singing those lyrics? That's usually what makes you feel the song. Hits you in the feels is a great vocalist. Puts the emotion in it. So yeah, these are vocalists that I just love. They inspire me. So yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Oh man, I've barely gotten any sleep the last few weeks. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get shit for brains. I don't know what the problem is, but yeah, but I'm feeling good to do this. I tried to do this episode once before, just a while back, and I didn't prepare for it because I'm a poop head. So, yeah, we're making it happen now. So, again, these are my favorite vocals. If you don't hear your favorite, you think that vocal, that person is a hack. The hell with that voice, sounds like nails on a chalkboard. Don't worry about it. These are my favorites. You have your own favorites. So that's what we're doing. All right, let's get into it here. I thought I had to put Dua Lipa. Yeah. Pulled out this record to show this is the most recent one, Radical Optimism. I mean, Dua Lipa's got that, just got such a fantastic voice. Pop vocalist, I mean, she sounds like traditional, like 80s, you know, Madonna, you know, those kind of vocalists. Even going back, even kind of like maybe, I don't know, Donna Summer, I don't know why she came to my head, but she's got that voice, and it's just so great. There's once a picture of her that was posted online of her with like a cigarette in her hand. Maybe that helps with her vocals. People are like, bad Dua Lipa, bad, no smoking. Yeah, smoking is bad, but maybe that's what gives her that voice. We don't know. But even if it does or it doesn't, she's got a phenomenal voice, and I just could listen to Dua Lipa all day. And really, like when I talked about this record and her other albums, I mean, her albums are like, she doesn't have a bad album. It doesn't have like really a bad song. I mean, not a sinker in the bowl on this record. And of course, I pulled this one out because it means I get to do this. Love that. But yeah, had to talk with Dua Lipa. Another one. Pulled out this record, Lady Gaga, Born This Way. Lady Gaga is an absolutely phenomenal vocalist. I mean, from her first album, those first few songs, Poker Face, nothing sounded like that. And then this record, I think this, where she really proved like, oh man, this girl is going to be around for a while. Undeniable talent. Marry the Night. Girl, what a song. Lady Gaga, one of my queens. And that song, love that tune, one of my favorite Lady Gaga songs. The Edge of Glory. Another big vocal. So this album has a lot of like some of just her big vocal performances on. Of course, the song Born This Way. I mean, that's just an anthem. Just express yourself. And that was a song of the Madonna tune, and you're like, who's ripping that off? That sounds a little familiar. Oh yeah, it sounds like Madonna, Express Yourself. But then Lady Gaga came out and said, hey, if I'm going to rip anybody off, it's going to be the queen herself, Madonna. You know, I could have put Madonna on this list, but not to be a Stanley spoiler, but Lady Gaga took that spot. I think she's the new queen of pop. And you gotta love this album cover. She's a mutant motorcycle. She's a wear-cycle on this here. So yeah. Actually, another vocals, I don't have a record to show because their albums are like very, very difficult to find. But yeah, I'm gonna point up to just to his picture, Glenn Tilbrook of the new wave band Squeeze. I love this guy's voice. It's just soothing. It's just when I hear it, it's like, man, it's so good. And that song Tempted, his part comes up.
I'm at the car park, the airport, the baggage carousel.
The way he sings about a baggage carousel makes you believe in that baggage carousel. A boring contraption just spinning around waiting, you know, is that my bag? I gotta take my bag. He makes you care about that baggage carousel, and you can sing that, so you can hear his song in your head if you're ever standing in front of a baggage carousel. So the next time that happens to me, I'm gonna be thinking about Glenn Tilbrook singing just baggage carousel. It's gonna get me right through. It's not gonna be so boring. But yeah, love his voice. Pulling Muscles from a Shell, which is the first Squeeze song I ever heard. And just like, this guy's voice. Love it. And of course, I love his collaboration with Elvis Costello on the song From a Whisper to a Scream. Oh, so good. Dig it. Glenn Tilbrook had to be on here. Next I'm going Cyndi Lauper. Phenomenal vocalist. She's just going on her farewell tour. Yeah. I think she's going to be true to her word. I'm not going to... I trust in you. Because you know when they say farewell tour, yeah, it's not really a farewell tour. They'll be back in like a year. I think I'm gonna put my trust in Cyndi Lauper that she's going to be done. But I mean, her vocals, she still sounds great. From what I've heard of her, like just on the talk show circuit, she's like before. Oh, love this girl, love Cyndi Lauper, and this is the classic album. She's so unusual because everyone she came along, people were like, "Who is this girl, Cyndi Lauper? She's so unusual."
Who is this girl, Cyndi Lauper, and why is she so unusual?
I mean, just on this album, you have Money Changes Everything. She's got that big, long... That was a big spit I just did right there. She's got that big, long note that she holds. It's like a solid minute. It is... Oh, man. It's just insane. Dig it. Yeah. She was also in a band, a new wave, sort of like rockabilly band. They only had like one record, Blue Angel. And there's a song in there, I Had a Love. The vocals on that, girl, so good. Had to have Cyndi Lauper. All right, next, Christina Aguilera, another one of my queens. Had to have Christina. I thought like maybe Britney Spears, but Christina was sort of the, I guess you could say, like Cyndi Lauper to Britney's Madonna. I mean, Madonna had a great voice, Britney had a great voice, but Christina just blew them away. Such a queen, and I pulled out this record, Back to Basics. I think this had a lot of variety, and she just really shows off a lot of vocals in a lot of different styles, because this is very like a 2-disc, kind of got a lot of kind of a burlesque feel, because you're doing that movie with Cher around the same time, and yeah, and she just does a lot of the sort of like, the song Candyman. She's just doing kind of a jazzy, kind of, it's just a jazz feel to this record. So she does a little bit of jazz, and she's like just really sultry, sexy, and she looks fabulous. love Christina, so I had to have her. She kind of gets a little bit of flack for her kind of a Mariah Carey-esque. That I can't sing like Christina. That probably makes you turn this right the hell off. But she kind of gets a bit of crap for kind of her vocal stylings. But man, you can't deny the power of this girl's voice, because she's like a tiny little thing, and she's got this huge gigantic voice. So yeah, dig it. Had to have Christina. And there's a Christina Aguilera album ranking coming up soon. Can't say exactly when, but it is going to happen one of these days.
One of these days!
Christina Aguilera album ranking. All right, next I'm going Alice Cooper. Just a very distinctive voice. One of those voices, like when you hear it, you're pretty like, oh, yeah, that's Alice Cooper. His voice is like, it could be scary, but it can also kind of make you feel, you want to have a good time. And I pulled out this record, Constrictor, because this was his big comeback album after kind of like the Blackout records. And, the 70s album was so great. That's when we were first introduced, like, wow, this guy's voice is like really cool. Like, this is like, he was like early heavy metal. This one's like fully kind of embracing the glam metal, hair metal that was going on at the time. But this was his big comeback record, and he sounds fantastic on this album. So I think this is like his big comeback. He just, making a statement on this one. Yeah. But yeah, Alice Cooper, very distinctive. I had to have him on here because his voice just makes me feel good. Hits me in the feels, That's sometimes the vocals. He makes you feel something with the way they sing. Same with this guy, Ozzy Osbourne. And I pulled out the Bible of Oz here. No specific album. This is like everything, and you got a lot of variety, and I think that's what's really cool, and kind of why I pulled this one out for a little show and tell. Because if you don't show something while you're telling, people are kind of like, kind of boring. I don't like hearing you just talk. But you get a lot of variety in here. I mean, there's a song on here by the band Was Not Was. Remember Was Not Was? Walk the Dinosaur. That was their tune. But they did a song with Ozzy Osbourne called Shake Your Head, Let's Go to Bed. Ozzy's voice stands out. It is so distinctive. I mean, just some of the collaborations and stuff that you get it on this collection, just to hear how Ozzy kind of slots in to other things. And yes, of course, he's the Prince of Darkness. When you hear some of those, like the Black Sabbath tunes, you're like, wow, this almost sounds like evil. But he can kind of slot in and do kind of these different things. And he can sing a ballad, beautiful ballad. Like the song Dreamer. I think it's one of the best ballads Ozzy's ever done. Beautiful. The guy can really sing when he wants to. Goodbye to Romance, another beautiful ballad Ozzy's singing. So yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. And he always looks so cool. There he is. He's like the Prince of Darkness. He rises up from hell, but he can actually sing sometimes. And he's getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is fantastic. Vindicated, and hopefully he's good enough to sing, because, he's kind of basically a computer at this point. I mean, if he's still singing live and on all his new, most recent records, if that's still his, actual voice, then wow, okay. I stand corrected, but wow, he doesn't sound so good. But if he's still, wow, that's all I can say. I stand corrected. If he still sounds as good as he does on a lot of these records and some of the live performances that he's managed to do. All right, next I have to go Devo, but specifically Mark Mothersbaugh and Gerald V. Casale. Pulled out this record because I think this was like one of the first ones where I really kind of noticed the difference in kind of their deliveries. Because sometimes they can sound a little similar, but then sometimes they really stand out. Like Gerald Casale on Clock Out. Whoa, love that vocal. And then Mark Mothersbaugh doing like the Day My Baby Gave Me a Surprise, a song like that. Like he has a bit, maybe kind of a bit more of the melodic, whereas like Jerry is kind of more the, I guess, sort of more straightforward, a little bit more punk, sort of. I don't know. Very hard to kind of like pin down Devo exactly. You know, it just sounds good. It's Devo. You know, you just got to say, what is it? It's Devo. But yeah, I love the two different styles of their vocals. Mark Mothersbaugh, Gerald V. Casale. This is my favorite Devo record. But, yeah. Just always been inspired by their vocals. And also Jerry. You call him Gerald to be proper. You call him Jerry, just, you know, he's your friend. But yeah, Jerry did on the Total Devo record, the Elvis cover. He sung the cover of Don't Be Cruel. Did a pretty good Elvis Presley.
Don't be cruel, but you hope it's true.
All right, next I have to go Debbie Harry, of course, of Blondie, one of my all-time favorite bands. And I pulled out this record, the first record, because I think this is like a great statement, great debut, one of the greatest debuts. I mean, you get a song like Ex-Offender, and you hear kind of this like girl group, kind of Ronnie Spector almost kind of feel, something like that. But it sounds so different. It's punk, it's new wave, whatever. It's just, oh, so good. And then you get a song like In the Flesh. Beautiful. She could slow it down. She could be funky. She could be sexy. She could be tough. Just love Debbie's voice. She just like could do a lot, and she looked good doing it too. So yeah, had to have Debbie Harry. There she is. Showing to the whole band, but there she is. I should have pulled out Eat to the Beat because she's right there front and center. But we know. I just want to talk about this record because I mean I've been listening to this one a lot more again recently. The first Blondie record. I mean, that is a great record. All right, number one. Kind of no surprise. I mean, Freddie Mercury, lead singer of Queen, the late great, legendary Freddie Mercury. I pulled out the Queen's greatest hits. Actually, I have a story about this. I pulled it out so I could tell this story. My editor, Mike, like years ago, this is probably like in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, like 94, he walked right out of a Costco with this. Like, just walked right the hell out of the Costco. I somehow ended up with it. This is stolen goods. This wasn't paid for. This was literally a steal. Yeah. I think you can actually do it. Like, I think like Costco, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I don't really care. Like they just when they check your bill when you're walking out, they just want to just look at, okay, you membership here, oh yeah, but they just hope you'll come back. You probably walk out with a few things. They don't even look at it. They just stamp it and that's it. They can see what they barely look at what's in your cart. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, this is stolen goods, but great compilation. Queen songs, but I mean, so many great Queen songs, and Freddie Mercury. There was nobody like Freddie Mercury. I mean, you want to talk about the greatest vocalist ever, the greatest frontman ever. Some might say like, I don't know, like a Steven Tyler. You might say like, I don't know, like a David Lee Roth, somebody like that. But Freddie Mercury blew them all away. His superpower was, I mean, like, he never got his teeth fixed because that was his superpower. That whatever the palate that he had, he could just sing. Like, and there's even times like the other members of Queen sung, like Roger Taylor sung, Brian May sung, and actually there's a few songs, few Queen tunes where I like Brian kind of sounded like Freddie. And for years I thought Freddie was singing those songs. But then what really makes you realize, oh wait, that's Freddie, is when he gets into that other gear, that other level, where just the vocals just like, oh yeah, undeniably, that is Freddie. He was so phenomenal, truly something special, one of my heroes, and wow. I occasionally just sort of think of just how great Freddie Mercury was, and if you're just going to talk about just talent that may never come around again, like, I mean, you see so many vocalists, there's great vocalists, even some of these vocalists, I mean, they're so talented, but man, Freddie just, Freddie's the sun and we're all the planets revolving around him. That's like, he was that type of performer. He was just really something special.
One stump, one turn, two sits, John Deere.
So yeah, there you go. My favorite vocalists. A lot of these vocalists are heroes of mine. Very inspirational. So if you didn't hear your favorite vocalist, don't worry about that. It's cool. You can share some of your own if you feel so inclined. You're feeling froggy. But these are my favorite vocalists. If you're a fan of any of these, I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.